morning. We are out here in our flower field. It is September 1st and we are prepping our beds. We are getting a whole bunch of plugs in next week that will be the flowers for our fall CSA. And so we're out here, we are going to prep our beds. So let me show you what we have going on. Okay, so this is what the flower field looks like right now. We were not planning on having enough flowers to do a lot of bouquets in August because our CSA ended in July, but we started doing our farmers market here in town. And so we've kind of been limping along with the flowers that we do have, which we still have plenty, just not what I would have hoped to have to do an entire farmers market. But now we are ready to prep for our September plugs that are coming next week, and we are going to start cleaning out our beds. So this bed you can see is almost done. I have some campanula here that never even started to flower except for one little flower on it. So we're going to transplant that, put it somewhere else. I've got one little lemon basil that's the only one that grew. We're going to take that out. I've cut back a lot of our dill, one little amaranth that's kind of struggling. I might leave that there just to see if I can get some flowers off of it for the market for this week. We've got ageratum that's actually doing really well that we've been cutting on. So I might leave that there until next week when we actually get our plugs in. I think this is more campanula. I don't actually know what this is. I thought it was dianthus, but I'm actually thinking it's campanula. So we're going to transplant that. Never flowered, never did anything. And then our hollyhocks, which, by the way, I love the flowers. Not great for cutting. So I'm saving seeds from them and we will plant them somewhere else in the garden. But look at these beautiful, look how beautiful that is. Fluffy, these are a double hollyhock. Beautiful fluffy blooms. They look like little petticoats, I think. So we're going to pull the rest of these out. The bells will pull out and then we'll clear out all the weeds out of this bed. So I'm only clearing out the beds right now that I'm going to be planting in because we'll still be using the flowers for the market for next week. So then we're going to, so that was bed 2. Then we're going to do beds 9 through 13, which are, we've numbered our beds. We have 11 short beds and then 2 long beds. So this is bed 11, 10, 9. So we'll be clearing these out. As you can see, most of them are gone anyway. These zinnias, there's a few zinnias left and stuff. But other than that, they're mostly done. This Verbena bonariensis has gone crazy. I love it, but I think I'm going to cut it back and use it, transplant it to a different part of the garden. I think I'm going to put it more in our perennial beds. Our perennial, next year I'm making this berm over there, right there along the pond. I want to make that our perennial bed and not plant, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to transplant plugs from here to there after their first season. I think they'll do okay doing that. It'll shock them a little bit to transplant them, but I think they'll be okay. We've got some ornamental pepper in this bed, which is kind of fun. It's starting to flower. Hopefully we'll get some on that. And then this is a blue seed mix that I tried. It wasn't great. It's a bunch of kind of wildflowers. You can see there's some lupin leaves coming in. It's a bunch of forget-me-not, which I haven't figured out how to harvest for bouquets yet. It just wilts. And then this is the worst part ever about it. When it's done flowering, it gets these little burrs on it. So then I get burrs everywhere and it's super annoying. So that is all coming out today. We're going to clean all of this up too. And then these beds we're going to clean up as well. The lisianthus we're going to leave in because we're going to just add more lisianthus to it. These sunflowers are about done. More Verbena bonariensis. It went crazy. I planted a ton of it and it went crazy. So we're going to transplant that. So let's get to work. Real quick, one of the things with regenerative farming that we do, instead of pulling plants, we cut them back. We want to leave the roots in the ground. The roots actually have tons of microbiomes and biology and sciencey stuff that I don't know all the words for on them. That is really good for the soil. So we don't want to take roots out of the ground. So we're going to leave the roots in the ground. We're just going to cut off all the plants except for the ones that I'm transplanting, of course. We're just going to cut off all the plants at soil level and then let the roots rot away. And then we'll put down new compost and plant new plants on top of in the new compost. So So that's why, you know, I'm not pulling plants. I'm just going to be cutting them down. See, my gloves have burrs all over them from the, what am I saying? From the forget-me-nots. That's what happens. That's all from the forget-me-nots, which is super annoying. Okay, so I actually have updated my planting plan. So I'm not going to transplant this campanula. I'm going to let it stay here and hope that it will get some flowers on it for fall. For spring next year. It's starting to flower now, which is so weird. It's not a summer flower, but I'm going to leave it here so that it doesn't kill it by transplanting it. And then we're just going to adjust my planting plan. So change of plans, which is the name of gardening. If you are flower farming or gardening and you don't have one of these Japanese sickles, you need to get you one. This is the best thing I've ever found for getting weeds out of the garden, to getting weed roots. It just goes right under the soil and slices right through the weeds. It's amazing. Especially when you have things like Bermuda grass that the weeds are like so thick, this thing just cuts right through it. That just pulls it right up, which is amazing for Bermuda grass. Don't really want to disrupt the soil a lot when you're doing regenerative farming, because you want the soil to be able to keep the structure and the organisms and all that little stuff you can't see that's living inside of it. You want it to stay in place. So we don't till. This is, I guess, technically a type of tilling by hand tilling, but we don't till for the most part. We don't take big machines in here, and we just keep layering compost and good stuff on top of the soil, and then we'll plant our plugs into that. So, like I said, the only thing we really take out by the roots is the vermiculite grass. And don't go through and just disrupt the soil just for the sake of tilling it up. I've got bells of Ireland here that have that have reseeded themselves and are popping up here. That might change my planting plan. I might make this bed the bells, which I have new bells coming and I've got seeds for them as well. But I'm gonna leave these ones in the ground. I have found that plants that come back from seed by themselves are just so much stronger than anything that we plant. Like, they know when to reseed, they know when to pop up, they know when to germinate, and they just come back so much stronger. So this was supposed to be my snapdragon bed, but now I'm thinking it's going to be my campanula and bells of Ireland bed. Which bells of Ireland this year was weird for me. It was supposed to bloom in like March and April, and it didn't bloom until June, and then it didn't even get big enough stems and it just died. It was weird. So I'm hoping maybe if I leave the ones in place that are growing here naturally, maybe they'll be stronger and they'll do what they're supposed to do when they're supposed to do it. Of course, I have Bermuda grass growing right around the bells. What, baby? What? Oh, she's in there. I saw her in there this morning. She's doing good this morning.
She's done yet?
Uh-huh. She's walking around.
The grab
Uh-huh.
Can I hold that grab
Well, she was underneath the naked neck mama, and that naked neck mama was not happy about me bugging her. So I don't think you should hold her because I think she'll peck at you.
Yeah. Oh! Mom!
This hollyhock has seeds on it. So we're going to save this stem with the seeds. And I think I'm actually going to try to transplant these hollyhock plants into our landscaping beds. Like I said, they're gorgeous plants. Make horrible cut flowers though. What?
Can you flatten me?
Give you a flower?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want one of these?
I want to show to you on the phone.
You showing them your hollyhock? It's a hollyhock.
What is it?
Yeah, that's what it's called, a hollyhock.
She's flat on the phone. Are those hard? Are the orange ones?
No, the orange ones are called Mexican sunflowers.
I like those ones.
It's too a lot.
Okay.
Called Tithonia.
What is floating.
Can you move the pad down? Are you showing the camera?
This is a cop. What this is a cop, Mom?
What?
I thought that's a cop. I think that's a cop.
That one's called a hollyhock.
A hollycock.
Hollyhock.
This is a hollycock. This is an orange one. This is a yellow one. This was the white one. I want. She's back.
Little frogs?
You need to around. I'm talking about the white
Oh,
one.
the white ones? What kind are they? Is that what you said?
Yeah,
They're called ageratum.
yeah. I mean, what's this kind of flower?
That's that. That's called a Mexican sunflower.
I like the
Tithonia.
Can I have it? No flower instead the yellow ones. I miss the yellow flower. Can I have a new flower?
Yeah, which one?
Yeah, one. I don't want the purple ones.
You don't want the purple one?
Yeah.
You want a white one?
Do you have a bucket, Mom?
Do you have a bucket?
Yeah.
There's some buckets up there.
Do those ones have water in it?
What? No, none of those have water in it because I wasn't picking flowers today.
Oh.
What, baby? These I'm trying to keep as many of the roots on them as possible since it's hot still. That way when we transplant them, they're not as disturbed, which is disturbing our soil biome here, but it's okay. These are the hollyhocks we're going to transplant into the other parts of our garden. We planted all of these from seed. Where'd your flowers go?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, go get your flowers. You need new flowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a red one.
You want a red flower?
Yeah, still there.
Do I have red flowers?
Yeah. Okay. You right here. You right here, Mom.
Oh yeah, those ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I gotta hold on to it.
Hold on.
And this is too small.
Is it too short?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I was going right here.
Oh, you're saying hi.
Now. Deep. Can you You want this one? It's so tiny in it. Now let's those. Says this.
What, baby? A lot of people keep their drip lines underneath the soil, but we pull ours up because
Who are you talking to?
people that watch our videos,
No.
we pull ours up because the gophers will eat them if they're under the ground. If they break or if they get a hole in them or whatever. What?
I think I have this one. It's here.
Yeah, just a second. All right, so we have one row, basically this row, done, except for the plants that we're leaving in there for now. We got all the weeds pulled out of it. The drip lines are pulled up. We're going to go through, we're going to weed all the beds, and then probably tomorrow we'll go in and put in the compost. We're not going to put all the compost in right now, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I'm going to go get these hollyhocks in the ground because you can see they're already starting to wilt. It's pretty hot. It's pretty late in the year for hollyhocks too. They don't generally tend to like the heat, so we'll go get those planted. Okay, it's getting hot, so we're chasing the shade this morning. All right, so now we're going to clean out our zinnia patch here. I'm going to clean out this row of zinnias. There's a few sunflowers in this row that we're going to let stay because they're going to bloom pretty soon here. We're going to let them go. And then this row here with my blue wildflower mix, I'm pulling that whole thing out. It's a big mess and I need that row to plant stuff in a few weeks. So we're going to get these 3 rows. Okay, these zinnias, these ones I'm going to keep in there for now. These ones, I'm going to pull all of these out. I don't know what variety of zinnias these are. I can't remember, but I do not like them. I feel like they always look dead. Like because they have this like white on the edges, it looks like they're dying to me, even though like those are brand new flowers. They shouldn't look like that. And I just don't love, they're all singles. There's no doubles. There's nothing like really special about them. I do like that yellow one. Might keep that one in there to save the seeds from that one. It's a double. It's got a pretty yellow center or yellow edges. Might keep that one, but other than that, I'm going to pull all these out. Plus a lot of them have powdery mildew. You can see I've already done a lot of this row. They all got powdery mildew, and so I went through and cut a lot of them out a few weeks ago. So here we go. So these ones we're doing what I said we were going to do on the other row, but then we ended up pulling most of it. We are just cutting them off at the soil level so that the roots will stay in the ground. The zinnias might come back, which will be okay. We'll use them for cut flowers if they do, if they keep growing back. But we'll be able to plant the other ones around them. So I'm probably going to keep this one so I can save seeds from it. I like the form on it. Don't like these other ones. All these other ones out. Plus the powdery mildew's gotten pretty bad. I'm kind of over these. What, baby? Where are you? I'm right here. For roses?
No, for Rosie.
Who's Rosie?
The goat.
Oh, no, not for Rosie. We're going to take some of these flowers and move them to different parts of the yard, so we're going to put them in there.
Rosie has one stuff too. And some are good, some are not.
I'll show you this cool thing. So zinnias are like tomatoes in the fact that they get these little hairs on their stems, and each of those hairs can create a new root. So this one was leaning over onto the ground, and so it sent out new roots from that stem to make the plant stronger. So I think that's pretty cool. Tomatoes do the same thing. A lot of the flowers that have those have the like hairy stems, they'll do that.
Joey, what are you talking about? Let's go and shoot the bee. Is there water coming from? Is there any water coming? Where's this? I want to put in a pot for it. I found. See you later, Joey.
See you later, Joey. Oh, come on.
What is it?
Oh, enough Phyllis corn.
That's poisonous.
Nope, don't eat it. It's the seeds for the flowers that we grew here last year. We're gonna put it. Can you go put it in the wagon?
Well, I got it on the ground.
What, Annie? All right, we're got most of the zinnias out, most of the weeds in the sunflower row. We're gonna leave the sunflowers in. Now we're gonna tackle this row of the blue wildflowers. For these ones, I'm gonna use this sickle, and I'm just gonna cut them all off at the roots. You can come pull them out.
Can I cut out the roots?
No, we don't want to pull out the roots.
Why?
Because we leave the roots in the ground to rot away.
How long are they gonna walk away?
It's gonna take a while. But we're just gonna leave them there.
I just want to cut them.
No, you can't use this sickle. It's very sharp. Hey, buddy, don't touch the screen, please.
I mean, no, I want to just pull them out.
No, we're not gonna pull them.
I just want this.
Hey, Joey, you're in front of the camera, bud.
Boy, they can't see. You're not in front of the camera. You see, no one's in front of the camera. They don't have wibble wobble.
I think what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to use these just as a cover crop, as a mulch, and let them just rot in place here. I think that would be good feed for the soil. I'm just going to chop and chop. This is another weed that is awful, nutsedge. It spreads crazy, it's hard to get rid of it, so this is another one that we completely dig out. It has like a little corm. Well, first it grows by rhizomes. Then it has a little corm that it puts in under the ground. You have to get the whole thing out, or else it just continues to grow from there. So today I'm just going to chop and drop this, the flowers, and then I'm going to come back through when we're ready to plant in the soil and actually pull the Bermuda grass. I'll take up what is left, but this is a good mulch to keep the weeds and the grass from spreading in here. Oh, there's a frog or something. See the nutsedge? There's two of them connected to each other. But they spread by rhizome. And you have to get the little nut part out. Make sure you got both of those. pull in here because the soil is so nice, but in soil that's not nice and fluffy, it's a nightmare. Alright, so see nutsedge everywhere in here. It usually likes really wet soil, and our soil has been very dry, so I'm surprised it's growing in here. Although, you guys know my water issues are constant around here. But we've actually had water for the last few weeks, so maybe it just all of a sudden came to life since water started getting to it. All right, we got most of the crops terminated. Decided I'm going to leave the verbena in for a little while. I've got a couple weeks until these plugs come, the new plugs. So I'm going to leave what I can still use for our flowers in the ground, and then I'll transplant them when I've got plugs that need to go in the ground in those spots. So that's it for today. We are done. It is hot out here. It's like 85 already this morning. It's supposed to be at 103 today, so I don't do heat well. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you soon.